Hello everybody and welcome back to Animal Crossing City Folk. Today is Saturday, and you know what that means. We've got another KK concert. And today, on top of that, I want to talk about MapleStory. Because that's what I've been mostly playing all night while killing time. I did about a 3-hour stream on, I think it was close to like 3.5 hours. Right, the fishing tourney was today. I kind of missed it. I got busy playing MapleStory. Yeah, MapleStory 2 is really good so far anyway. Now, I don't have any character past like level, I think my highest level is 15 currently. And that's a Runeblade. And I also have a Cleric that's like 13. So, close enough for Jazz. They're both effectively 15. They're both effectively the same part of the game as well. And so far, I've been really enjoying it. Like, even like my first encounter with a world boss, that was amazing. Because, like, I just ran up to the thing and I was like, yeah, I got this. I didn't have that. But another random person ran up and had basically the reaction of, yeah, we've got this. We didn't have it. We both died like 2 times fighting this boss. But we did ultimately kill it, but we both died a couple times. But we were never both dead at the same time, so its health bar never reset. And we were fighting this while another world boss that was close by was also interfering with the fight. And I didn't notice it, and I don't think they noticed it either. And, like, that was just amazing. Because, like, a lot of the players that are currently playing don't really know how these bosses work. I mean, I'll admit a lot of them probably aren't even paying that much attention to them because they're just rushing to level cap, because that's just how most people tend to play MMOs, and I feel that's doing an MMO a great disservice. Like, the journey to the level cap should be what you play the MMO for, not the destination of the level cap. Getting to it should be what you play for. The level cap is what you keep playing for after you've reached it. The content there is just meant to keep you playing. It's meant to be fun enough, but it should never be more fun than the climb to the level cap. And I've always found that with MapleStory, of that the climb to the level cap is generally more fun than what you do at the level cap. Because once you've reached the level cap, you don't really have a reason to do anything else other than to maybe beat the dungeons a little faster. I imagine MapleStory 2 will have that same sort of thing, where you're more just, from reaching the level cap, you're just beating the dungeons faster. You're not actually able to do anything you couldn't do before. I haven't explored all of the endgame content for the first MapleStory, so maybe there is something there that you do need level capped gear for, but I've not found it. And I have a level capped Luminance. Very easily one of like the worst classes in that game. I also have a level capped Beast Tamer I play more. But, you know, I got the Luminance there, and he could still do everything just fine. As kind of useless as he is. I say he's useless. He has his, you know, upsides. He has really high burst damage. That's about it. Finding positives about Luminance is pretty hard. But I've just kind of evolved into talking about mostly MMOs at this point. And you know, I might as well continue that thought there, because that's a problem I have with a lot of MMOs. is they'll build their entire game around the end game content, not realizing that people have to get there somehow. Yeah, let's talk to animals a bit. Pudge. Hello, Steven. The sky is so clear that tonight will be perfect for taking a walk. You know, when I first started living on my own, my mom said to me, Pudge, life is about meeting people and making memories. But you can't find new people to meet in just any old place. And those memories aren't going to make themselves, Pudgy. That's why I'm counting on you to introduce me to lots of cool new people. You're supposed to go find them yourself, Pudge. That's what, you know, she meant. Like, I can't think of actually even a good example because I don't tend to remember bad MMOs. Because none of them are ever, that I play anyway, are so egregiously bad that I'm going to remember them for being bad. They're all just painfully mediocre. At least a lot of them. I mean, honestly, one example I could use, and it's not quite an MMO, but it may as well be, is Diablo 3. That entire game is built around endgame grinding. Playing through the story mode can be fun once, but you're never gonna do it again after that. If once you've done it, you've done it. You're not gonna go back. It's too boring. It's too boring and it's too slow. Whenever you start a new character, you're just going to start level 1 on, I believe it's Master difficulty. One step down from Torment. And you're going to be in challenge mode. And you're just going to play through that. Because it's faster leveling. And you get gear faster. And it's just, in general, a better way to level up through the game. Because there really is no content other than the end game content. And the story mode. Which is slow and boring. And, like, I suppose I can't say you won't play through it. People who have played, like, Diablo 2 and played through every playthrough of it, they'll probably play through the story mode again. Because that's just what they're used to. Me, I played Diablo 2. I beat the game once. I did one playthrough. And I started my second. This was with a druid. And I got bored. Because it was the same thing. It probably didn't help that I had literally rushed through the first playthrough in a weekend. Like... Now, if I started another character, I'd have fun playing it, and I could get through most of the first playthrough. Sometimes I'd finish, but usually I'd stop because I just stopped having fun with the character. Like, whatever build I went with just wasn't gelling with me anymore, and I got bored, so I stopped. But, like, a lot of gamers these days, I imagine, are a lot like me. They really don't want to play through the same game 3 or 4 times to have it be a challenge. Because that's a big thing with the multiple playthroughs. And now I've just got talking about multiple playthroughs in games. I talk and ramble about games a lot. You've all probably realized this by now. But I'm going to continue this thought now. Like, okay. Say with, well, Diablo 2. Your first playthrough is going to be a breeze. You're gonna just breeze right through it because the game is basically on easy mode. Your second playthrough is the equivalent of playing on normal. In my opinion, that should just be something you can choose at the very beginning. At the very least. Because all they do is scale enemy HP up from where it should be for enemies of that level. There's really no excuse why you can't just set a difficulty. Other than they wanted people spending a lot of time playing the game because they knew they were working on an expansion, Lords of Destruction. And they wanted people still interested in the game when that expansion dropped so that they could sell the expansion. And what's a way to do that? Have many playthroughs. So that, you know, to get to the level cap. so that people keep playing so that they can slowly see their build coming together. And that's great. That's fine. But with Lords of Destruction, they should have just added a difficulty option. Start the game. Do you want this to be on easy, normal, hard, insane, lunatic, impossible? That sort of stuff. I mean, like, the best example I could think of is Champions of Norath. It's not advisable to do this, but once you've beaten the game once, you can literally start a new character, level 1, on the second playthrough difficulty. Now keep in mind, when you beat the game, the second playthrough difficulties, its enemies start around level 20. Basically. You'll be about level 30, 40. You're gonna just breeze through these. But if you start a new character, you can feasibly take on enemies. You will level up a lot really quickly. But it's doable. You just have to be very careful and not playing a pure melee class. You basically have to abuse how dumb the AI can be. This looks like a new fish. Yellow perch. I'm gonna have to check, see if we have that. Let's talk with Carmen. Oh, it's Darling. It's totally dark. I get all distracted and stuff, I guess. Teehee. Boo. Why is it so hard to meet new people? Yes, I know. Why do you all complain about this so much? But I can't bring people to the town. I'm too paranoid that those programs are going to brick the Wii in some way. Or corrupt the save data. Or a plethora of things that would just ruin the series. Like, I really want to have people able to join in. I do really want that. I just can't. I cannot bring myself to trust those third-party programs. I also don't have the money for SD cards. And everyone always suggests a different internet service. Which is even more confusing. Yellow perch, yes, quite. Yellow perch have a spiny dorsal fin that makes them look rather tough. Here's an interesting tidbit. As fry, these fish will hide amongst water plants by standing on their heads. It stands to reason that a tough fish like this one must be clever from the day it's born. But all that aside, if you are gratitude, rest assured your aquatic friend will be most happy. Nope, nothing else. I'm gonna head off to Nooks, and then we'll come back for the concert. Because I want to talk a little more about just general MMO practice, in my opinion. I am an amateur game designer. Any actual game designer will probably tell me I'm wrong. But this is just kind of my opinion of when building an MMO, keep your endgame content in mind. Keep in mind what you're going to do to make the destination. You need to provide a destination. But you should also be paying very close attention to how you're building the journey. I mean, I know I overuse this game for examples, but EVE Online, it doesn't exactly have a destination. You have to set your own destination, what you want to accomplish. And the entire game is built around the journey to that destination. You want to be a high-sec industrialist that builds carrier parts. Get yourself a buddy who has a low-sec citadel or something, and you can do that. You can do that basically risk-free. And given how moon mining and such is nowadays, you can literally mine everything yourself in high-sec without ever leaving. High-sec is the safe space of EVE. Quote-unquote safe. You can still be killed there by other players. It's just they'll be killed by NPCs for doing it. It's more people who kill you there have consequences You have the consequence of still dying, though. Whoops. I'll pick that up and plant it wherever it landed. Okay, it landed right here. But, like, you know, with, say, Eve, my general goal for myself is to someday get in the Alliance tournament. I want to be flying in the Alliance tournament one of these days. Preferably as a logistics pilot, because that's what I specialize in. That's what I know. That's what I have 300-400 hours of experience flying solo in. And keeping fleets alive. In situations that really we shouldn't have survived. And honestly, situations we should have never been in. Like, for any EVE players that might see this, that is a really long shot. But taking a Tech 1 fitted scythe with my only rep being a medium shield booster into incursion scout sites with a modest fleet of like 2 battleships and a cruiser and a battlecruiser. That's all we had. My scythe was our only logistics. And we survived. I barely got hurt all that much at all. Mostly because I was also calling targets smartly, because I was also FCing the whole time. That's fleet commanding, thus I'm telling people what to do. But I am here for a song. Let's take this to stop my my rambling. Don't have a request. If any of you guys want a request, then feel free to belt one out in the comments before next Thursday. And I'll get to it. And if you have given one, and YouTube just hasn't notified me, because it probably hasn't, either just request it again, or join the channel's Discord. You can get to it via my Twitch channel, which should be linked down below. Just click the big black button that says Discord across it, and I believe it's Comic Sans, because I just clicked a random font. They're placeholders until I can get better things, but for now it's just a big black box that says Discord. Just click that, and it'll automatically invite you to the Discord channel. Just make the request there. But I'm gonna let KK pick today. Now, what are we gonna get? Riffs on this ditty. Imperial KK. I really like that song. So then later boot us for the song. That was pretty nice of him. It's nice that he always does that. I kind of want to keep talking, but I don't want to get back into just rambling about MMOs and just game design in general. Because I know I'm not an expert by any means, but I like to think I know what I'm doing when it comes to basic design like that. Because, like, to me, that seems like a no-brainer. Like, of course you want the, you know, the bulk of your MMO, you know, the level grind to the cap, to be fun and enjoyable. But you'd really be surprised at how few games actually manage that. Be it either they just seem to have a very bad definition of what fun is, or they just don't care because they just want to get you to the level cap as quickly as possible. So they don't put much effort into anything. Let's put Imperial KK in here. You know, when hearing him play it, I couldn't help but think that it was going to be a Shamisen song, but I was wrong. I'm just in a Shamisen mood, I guess. I think I mentioned it, but I've actually been looking online to see the rough prices of Shamisens, because I want to learn how to play a Shamisen. And I want a, at least mostly authentic Shamisen. I'm actually going to, I can find it. I'm going to put this up here. So that it just fits the WAS. And I like having that song. I think that song can actually only come from having KK pick. I could be wrong. But with that, I'd like to remind everyone I do have a Patreon should you wish to donate to me. If you enjoyed this content and you feel like helping make more of it. If you don't want to donate, that is perfectly fine. And with that said, I thank you all very much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time for more Animal Crossing City Folk. See you all then.